Hi everybody, my name is Rani Green, also known as I Am the Glitch, and today is the day before I start the master fast. So yeah, wow, feeling a lot of emotions at the moment. Yeah, really, it's been quite a process the past week or so in the lead up to this, because it's something that I have been processing for a while, probably about a month. I've been like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I just have to do this. This is just part of my journey. So I've had about a month of really processing it and just mentally preparing myself for this. But yeah, there's definitely a part of me that is mourning. So just knowing that I'm about to endeavor on this journey and that I'm going to come out the other side a completely different person. So it's a little bit scary, but it's exciting. And I do feel, a bit of fear, but I do feel a lot of love as well. And I feel like this really is the right thing for me to do wholeheartedly. So just a bit of a background story about my health and why I'm doing this. I'm thinking, like, how much do I want to share? Because there's some pretty gruesome stuff involved. But to keep it simple, basically, I have had pretty full-on gut issues for over 20 years now. And I think where this all started was when I went to Bali when I was a little girl and got really sick. And I remember from that age sort of looking at myself in the mirror at nighttime and looking at my belly and just thinking, like, why is it so big at night? And it was because I was so bloated. And that's probably one of my biggest reasons for doing this is that, and there's so many reasons, but I react to everything that I consume, even water, absolutely everything. So the bloating is really quite out of hand. And funnily enough, I don't drink, I don't eat processed sugar, I don't eat processed foods, I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates or gluten. Very, very minimal coffee. I only have just started back on coffee because I've actually been so fatigued and exhausted that I've sort of just had to do what I've had to do to get through the day. So the main thing is a lot of digestion issues, and just extreme bloating, and having these symptoms from quite a young age led to some pretty bad eating disorders in my teen years, because I didn't understand what was going on. I just knew that I was bloating, and to avoid bloating I would just starve myself. And I would feel so sick, and I had such a bad relationship with food, and it's actually like quite emotional to talk about it, because it's something that has seriously just affected my life in the biggest way possible. And because of the symptoms when I was so little, and then leading to eating disorders when I was a teenager, my relationship with food and my relationship with my body has just been absolutely terrible. And food stresses me out, water stresses me out, everything stresses me out. Buying clothes, there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of anxiety around anything related to, I guess, food and eating and consuming, and going to the beach, going shopping, or where, I feel like I'm not even able to express myself and wear the clothes that I want to wear because of the extreme bloating. And I'm not talking about just like a little bit of bloating, like, that people say, oh, I'm so bloated, and you're like, you can't even see it. I'm talking about the most extreme bloating that I've ever seen in anyone. And it's been quite horrible as a woman to have so many, like, to have this affect my confidence so much. And honestly, the times where I've probably been the happiest in my life and felt the most me is when I have pretty much starved myself, or barely eaten, or done quite long fast. So fasting isn't something that's new for me, but it's been really quite horrible, and it's really held me back from my fullest potential, and my weight can just go up like that, like 13 kilos in I think 3.5 weeks it was. I've had lots of other health issues develop. Last year, I became really, really unwell, undiagnosed, but I was about to get the diagnosis of fibromyalgia and hypothyroidism. I didn't get that diagnosis. Apparently my pain wasn't high enough, and the rheumatologist said that it was gluten, even though I had cut, even though my symptoms were getting better, and like it was a bit of a messy thing, but let's just say gluten definitely wasn't the cause of my issues, but definitely gluten does impact things. So I was very grateful I didn't get diagnosed with that, because I didn't want to attach onto that identity, even though at the time I really wanted an answer. I really wanted someone to just say, this is what's wrong with you. This is why you feel so shit, because I was literally bedridden. I was completely bedridden, and I lost my identity in that. And at the time I had cut all my hair off. I had just moved back home, and I'd left my job and broke up with my boyfriend, and so I gained weight, cut off my hair, lost my tan and my glow, and everything just changed. That was a really, 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 really hard time. But so that was about 10 months ago, and things are definitely better now, but definitely not how they should be. So I've spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of tears trying to figure out what the hell is going on in my body. I've spent probably $30,000, maybe even more than that now. I would say more than that, actually, trying to figure out what's wrong with me and seeking treatments, and lots of different treatments. And I've tried pretty much everything, not absolutely everything, but most things. And there's some things that have helped, but there's nothing that's really completely healed it once and for all. So obviously this has been going on for a really, really long time. So it's not just like I'm going to find something and magically it's sort of just going to cure it. Obviously things take time. So that's sort of the background with me and my health. And I guess the point that I was like, I just have to do this, is within the past 5 weeks, I've really started to go back downhill. I was doing carnivore for 4 weeks, and I loved it. Like it reduced my symptoms, but it wasn't the answer. It wasn't, getting rid of the root cause. It wasn't addressing the root cause. So I really did enjoy that. It definitely made me feel better. I found it very hard to consume enough calories, and I was doing a lot of exercise at the time. So, I stopped doing that and started eating more foods, but still no sugar, no alcohol, no coffee, anything like that. And I've really started to go downhill. Just lots of heaviness in the gut. Just very fatigued, very, very, very fatigued. And I'm at that point in my life where my career is kicking off. My self-development and my emotional state and my mental state, everything is really blossoming right now, and everything is going really quite amazing for me, which I'm just so happy and grateful for. But my health and my body is really lagging and cannot keep up. And I'm working for myself from home. As you can see in my bed, I can take a nap if I want to. I can take, I can go outside, I can do whatever I want, but my body is just so fatigued, and it's so hard for me to really do much and like leave the house and even want to go on adventures and to go into nature. I have so much resistance towards it. So yeah, the time is now to fully heal my body once and for all. And last year I did a lot of coffee enemas, I did urine enemas, I did water enemas, I did turmeric, I did lemon, I did herbs. I did just about everything. It was like a freaking cafe, honestly. It was like a freaking cafe in there. So I've done urine therapy as well. I've done a lot of fasting, mainly water fast, but I've done a little bit of juice as well. I eat majority of the time organic. I drink clean water. I meditate. I look after myself. So I don't have any habits or consume anything that's really negative. Even like TV and minimal social media and stuff like that. So I'm pretty onto it. But yeah, as a hypnotherapist, I know that this programming that I have of feeling sick all the time and feeling bloated, it is probably the deepest belief that I am aware of anyway within me, because I feel like obviously there is the physical, but I know there's emotion attached to it. So I'm essentially going to rewire that part of me, and I probably will do a little bit of hypno on myself to rewire and tell myself that I'm healthy and that this is creating new programs for me. But it's a very deep rooted belief in my unconscious mind that I feel sick all the time, I feel tired all the time, and of course, like what you say and what you think, you are attracting into your world. So I'm not making things better for myself, that's for sure. So with this fast, I'm just ready. I cannot do this. Like, I came here to reach my fullest fucking potential, to step into the best version of myself that is possible. And I'm not going to let anything or anyone get in the way of that. And at the moment, that is my health, and that has sort of always been my health. So it needs to change. It is changing. And I'm going to heal my gut once and for all. I don't know what it feels like to have energy. I don't know what it feels like to be healthy. I don't know what it feels like to eat something and not have a reaction, or to drink water. I don't know what it feels like to not be anxious about eating, or have something playing in the background of my mind. And I want to experience that, because I want to be the best me. I want to step into that. I really believe, and it's true, as a human being here on earth, it is my God-given right. It is my right as a human being to be healthy, to feel healthy. And it's something that's felt so unattainable my whole life, but here we are, about to start on this master fast. So it's going to be a wild ride, and of course it's the physical. It's going to be expelling a lot of parasites, a lot of candida, fungi, worms, mold, the whole shebang. Kidney stones, mucoid plaque, sulfur. It's going to be a lot, but as well as expelling the physical, obviously it's going to be emotionally and mentally extremely tough, with, I'm sure, a lot of ego deaths and spiritual breakthroughs along the way. So I think I'm probably in the best frame of mind that I could be in going into this, is that I have my spiritual practices in place. I have the time and the space to be able to do this, working for myself and having a separate cabin from other people, but still having other people there, and in the warmer months, so it's not so cold and rainy and harder to do. So I am ready for this. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to change my life. And I know it's not necessarily just going to be one magical, huge fast that's going to change my life forever. It could be, but I do understand that it could be quite a few series of different fasts and different things to really heal my gut. And with that all being said, I do have to say that I am, in a way, very grateful for the experiences that I've had with my body. And even though it's hurt, and even though it's really stopped me from feeling like me and being me and having fun and not having to always have that anxiety around food and clothing and feeling uncomfortable and stuff. I'm grateful that it has led me onto this path, because one of my goals, and it might not happen within the next few years, it might not happen within the next 20 years, but one of my goals in life is to be a breatharian, and I know that this is a step in that right direction. So I'm grateful that even though it's been very challenging mentally 20 plus years, that overcoming this is going to help a lot of people. Healing myself is going to help a lot of people, but also it's really transcending beyond just being a human being. Transcending to that higher level of consciousness, that higher level of awareness, higher level of love. So I'm grateful for this journey that I've had and that I'm about to embark on. So today is the last day, and I feel pretty fucking terrible today. I feel rubbish. I feel absolutely rubbish just looking at me, like the amount of weight that I'm holding and just a lot of bloating, like how round my face is and just very puffy and feeling super lethargic, super drained, feeling very horrible. And I'm ready to change all that. And I know it's going to be a fucking journey, but bring it. Let's just do it. I'm ready. Day 2 of the Master Fast system. And it's actually pretty hectic. It's actually going a little bit more hectic than I would have thought. I'm feeling pretty positive, pretty energized, just excited about this journey and feeling really grateful that I have the opportunity and the space in my life to be able to do this and to really, really do it and dive into it. So I'm feeling pretty good. So day 1 and day 2, I felt pretty rubbish. So I'm going to backtrack to day 1 and tell you what I would sort of do different and what I wasn't expecting. So obviously prior to starting this fast, I had everything ready to go. I thought I was just fully ready. It was just going to be easy as. Day 1 came and I even though I had the stuff, even though I had all of the things, I definitely should have prepared some things the night before and just gotten more ready for it. Like boiling up the tea, even just putting the tinctures into a glass and then putting the tea in that and letting the alcohol evaporate. Even just mixing up like the black pudding mix and just other things like that. So it was kind of a bit of a, just in the morning when I woke up and I was like trying to just sort everything out and get everything going. And I was like, it just wasn't the way that I really wanted to start the fast. I had to go down the shops and buy some batteries to weigh everything. So I was like, oh, this is not really the energy that I want to be starting with this. But anyway, I did end up doing lots of meditation and lots of, nice stuff in the morning anyway. But yeah, I would definitely recommend having everything ready to go, mixed up, already cooked, already just all happening. So when you wake up in the morning, you know what you're doing and it's just easy to just do. Definitely look over the protocol, look over the tools, look over everything so you really know what you're doing. Because I actually thought that you could drink water on this fast. And you can't. You can't drink water. You can have 1 cup with the tea in the morning and in the nights, but that's it. So that's been very hard. Not hard, but it's just been different for me to sort of get my head around, because I've done so much fasting and so many detoxes and cleanse, and in all of them, you are drinking a lot of water. So I know the whole water thing is a bit of a myth, but that's for another day anyway. So yeah, that was very weird for me to get my head around. I was like, oh God, okay. The other thing that I found and have been finding quite challenging is the amount of enemas that you need to do per day. Like 6 to 10 liters, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of water. I understand why, and I get it, but it has been quite challenging, especially on the 2 days, because I've been feeling so drained. So that came as quite a surprise for me. I was like, wow, that's like a full-time job in itself, just doing these. So luckily I work for myself, I work from home, so it's not really an issue for me. But day one, I really started feeling more connected to everything. It was so weird. I started feeling more at one with nature. Everything just looked more vibrant. I just felt more connected and really grounded. So I did feel pretty good for half the day, and then I think the second half I sort of was feeling pretty tired. It's quite a fair bit of herbs that you've got to take as well, so I could feel there was a lot happening in my body. So I did feel definitely more connected, more present, more grounded, and just, yeah, I was just like in my own world for the half of the first day, and it was really quite nice. But yeah, the enemas were quite challenging. I just did water for the first day and a half, just because I didn't feel like I was ready to do lemon or to do the other types of enemas. I was like, I'm just happy doing water at the moment. So nothing crazy came out on the first day. The first night, so let me actually, just before I say that, so the herbs are the most disgusting thing that I have ever had in my life. And let me tell you, I have drunk my own pee. I have had some seriously disgusting like herbal drinks and like tonics and like things in the name of health. This has got to be the worst. The only thing that gets me through drinking these herbs is knowing that it has alcohol in it. And I don't even drink alcohol. So I'm just like, okay, let's just like shot this as just alcohol. Like it's going to make me feel good. It's going to make me a little bit like, you know, in my own little fairy world. So that's sort of what was getting me through. But the mistake that I was making is that I was drinking the herbs with the tea in 1 cup. So there was like no chaser, because you can't have water, you can't have juice after it. From my understanding, you have to wait half an hour. Then you have the pudding. So yeah, there was nothing to really like chase that really awful taste with. And it was actually like coming back up, and I had to keep swallowing it down. So that was the first day that I had that was like, I was like, it was coming back up. I had to keep swallowing it back down. So the nighttime, it was a bit easier. Yesterday morning, it was pretty bad. Yeah. The pudding is not, it just tastes like whatever juice you put it with, but it's just not very desirable. It's not very tasty. It's just, I'm actually a little bit yucky about it now. So where I was going with this, so on the night of day one, I had all the herbs and went to bed. My stomach, I've never heard it rumble so much in my life. It was absolutely insane. Like, I'm talking like the movement and like the rumbling and like everything was like, holy shit. I was like waking up and I was like, I can feel it like ripping everything out of like my intestines and like all of my organs. I can just feel it like just getting everything out. So I was really expecting to see some parasites in the next enema that I did. So I woke up and on the first night, the first day, I had really bad diarrhea as well, like really bad. Yeah, it was really bad, really bloated, which isn't unusual for me. It's something very, very normal, hence why I'm on this. But like a lot of bloating, a lot of diarrhea, felt a little bit dehydrated towards the end of the night. But yeah, so had those chronic pains happening in the nighttime. And then the next morning I did 2 liters of enemas and nothing came out that was weird. Yeah, nothing unusual. So I was a bit surprised by that. And then later on in the day, I did some lemon enemas, and that's when I had some parasites come out. So I didn't use like a colander or whatever the hell, a strainer thingy. I just couldn't be bothered, and it's just a bit unpleasant sometimes, a bit too messy. So I didn't use it, but I could see in the toilet that there was some parasites in there. So I was really happy about that. And that was with the lemon enema. So that definitely helps. But yeah, so I was pretty happy that stuff came out, and that's why I feel like I'm already feeling a bit better today, is because I've had already some stuff come out. So yeah, yesterday was pretty tough, just felt really fatigued, really exhausted, was sleeping a lot. And yeah, now I feel good today. I feel good. So I've had all my herbs, I've had my pudding, I've had a little bit of juice. I'm a bit over the juice. Yeah, I have 64 liters of Concord grape juice that I ordered bulk online, but I also have some like cherry juice and pomegranate juice as well, and that's what I started on because the delivery didn't come in time. But I definitely prefer the pomegranate and the cherry juice over the Concord, but I know Concord is obviously the thing that you should be doing. So yeah, I'll definitely incorporate like a bit of cherry and pomegranate just because it tastes better. It's just like a little bit of a treat. So I guess that's sort of me. That's sort of what's going on. Like obviously having detox symptoms, having like headaches. The diarrhea stopped on day 2, so that was really good. But I'm definitely feeling pretty good about this experience and what's to come. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to report on at this point. Just yeah, it's going to be a journey. It's going to be an adventure. I'm just excited to pull all of this crap out of me that has been making me sick for 20 plus years. I want it out. I want it gone, and work through that emotional attachment that's tied onto it as well. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to just coming out the other side, but excited for the journey as well. So with my sleep as well, just with my sleep, it hasn't been too bad either. I've been having like a little bit restless, a little bit waking up. I've had some pretty full-on dreams, but it's like a reoccurring dream. So that's, listen to my podcast episode 3, that's sort of what's been happening, similar stuff to that, the Matrix hijacking my dreams. So yeah, listen to that if you want to know what I'm talking about. But my sleep it's been okay. Yeah, nothing, no insomnia, nothing crazy, just weird dreams and a bit of tossing and turning. Feeling emotionally pretty not good. My cat's down there and wants cuddles. For as long as I can remember, I've always held a very deep sadness inside of me that comes out quite a fair bit. And I knew that doing this fast would bring that to the surface. And I'm definitely feeling that. And I sort of dived a bit deeper into it, and what came up was loneliness. So I love being alone, and I love being alone and just doing all the things that I do, you know, thinking all the thoughts that I think and just being me. But this path, the path that I've always really been on, has been quite lonely. And, you know, obviously with this fast, it's quite lonely. Yeah, so it's just bringing up lots of feelings of like loneliness, and so I'm just sort of navigating through that at the moment. I did actually have some mucoid plaque come out yesterday. That was the first time, so I had a little bit of mucoid plaque come out yesterday. My friend helped me identify it because I didn't know if it was. But yeah, I'm feeling physically okay, feeling a bit dehydrated, and feeling I haven't really drunk much juice today. I've probably drunk maybe 1.5 liters, and I have about an hour until my window closes, and I'm fasting, so dry fasting. So I need to definitely have some more. But yeah, I'm just feeling pretty crappy, as to be expected. I've got a chicken and I've got a cat. Cute. So yeah, that's day 4. Feeling sad, lonely, dehydrated. But also I just want to add, actually, like I just feel myself sort of going into this pity party for myself, which I hate. the victim. I hate people playing the victim. Even though I'm still trying to say my gratitudes and everything and meditate, it's just, I'm not as high vibe as I would like right now. And sleeping in, because I'm trying to really just get a lot of sleep. So I'm sleeping in, and I'm not liking that routine of sleeping in. What does this chicken want? What do you want, chicken? It's just looking at the cat. The cat's looking at it. They're looking at me. So yeah, I don't like this sort of hole that I am going into, and I need to pull myself out of it before that just becomes my new habits. So I'm very like sort of on the ball when it comes to habits and routines and rituals, and if something doesn't serve me, just cutting it straight away. So yeah, so we'll see. I think I need to come up with a bit of a better structure for tomorrow on how I want my days to look, you know, plan it out a bit better. I had a really good morning routine this morning. So I think that is really like the key to being able to do this at this point in time, is having a really good morning routine, having a bulletproof morning routine. And I've had a really good morning routine, but because I've been sleeping later than I would like, later than I usually would, I haven't really been doing my morning routine because I've been feeling a bit more rushed and just a bit, yeah, like, you know, where has the day gone sort of thing. So I would definitely say get yourself in a good routine of like a morning routine if you're going to do this. My hair has got so much salt in it. So yeah, make sure you're doing your breath work, you're doing your meditation, you're doing your grounding, cold showers, dry brushing, moisturizing, oil pulling, having your herbs, having all that stuff, obviously, journaling, gratitude, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's definitely made a difference in my day. I also went to the beach. It's like 35 degrees at the moment, which is actually really nice. So 35 degrees. And yeah, I'm just feeling good today. I love the warm weather. So yeah, I just did 4 liters of enemas, and I was like, oh, I don't know about doing grape juice enemas. Like that's just, I've done heaps of different ones, but I was like, I just don't know about putting grape juice up my bum. But anyway, I did it. And I had a lot of stuff come out. So I wasn't expecting really much to come out because I do, like if I do 6 liters of enemas, I'll do like one, which is 2 liters, the second 2 liters, another 2 liters. So 3 times 2 liters. So the first 2 enemas, obviously a lot comes out. And then lately, sort of the second and the third, not much has been coming out. So on the third enema, so the first bit of the second bag was grape juice and lemon juice, and I had lots of stuff come out. I'm not 100% sure what it is. It does look like mucus, but it does look like parasites as well. Like it's a lot of white, really strainy, it looks like my insides literally coming out. But it would make sense if that was mucus, because I've had a lot of mucus like constantly, like I'm having to swallow. There's like a lot of mucus just sitting there and even having to spit it up. So I definitely feel very sort of mucusy, and even like my nose has been a bit more blocked lately than usual. So and I felt like I've been fighting something. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was mucus, but it was a lot. Like it was like probably like that much of just mucus, and I was like, holy crap. So that was good to see. But you know, I'm not gonna lie guys, this is like really quite a messy fast. It's not very nice. It's, you know, the herbs taste absolutely terrible. The only reason I drink them is because it's got alcohol in it. That's not the only reason, but you know, it gets me through. And then the juice is just so sickeningly sweet. It's almost just unbearable. Like the Concord grape juice is like, ugh. The cherry juice and the pomegranate juice I can do, but I have like 64 liters of Concord grape juice, so I have to freaking drink the grape juice. And then the enemas are just, you know, very time consuming. You feel pretty nauseous like most of the time doing them. And you literally, I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to know what is coming out of your body, You literally got to put gloves on and like dig through your own shit, figuring out what is in there, what is coming out. And that is like disgusting. And it doesn't even smell like normal poo, because it's not, because you're not pooing anything out. You've already pooed it all out. So you're literally having to go through it and it just stinks and you're like, what the hell is that? So it's not pretty. It's not glamorous in any way. It is intense. You don't know what's going to come out. You don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know you just don't know what the day's going to look like. So it's very time consuming, more expensive than what you would think, and just not pretty at all. So if you're thinking of doing this, I would just be, you know, pretty prepared that it's pretty gross. Day 7 today, and this is the first dry fast that I've done. I'm only like not even 15 hours in, but I definitely feel like I'm dry fasting. Yeah, it's an experience. I did go for a walk this morning, which is the first bit of exercise that I've done the past week, and it was so beautiful. Like, it probably wasn't the best idea doing it on the day that I'm dry fasting, but it's just such a beautiful day. The water was just so beautiful, so I went for a walk along the ocean, and like I was listening to some music and I just literally felt like I was in another dimension. Like, I just felt so out of it but in it. So yeah, that was interesting. It's like I feel like really present and like at one with everything, but I want to kick everyone in the face. So I feel like my lips are very dry at the moment, and they're a little bit bluish from all this freaking grape juice. So the dry fast is supposed to be 24 hours every week, but this is my first week, so I'm not going to do 24 hours. So I'll probably have like a window of like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. I don't know. I'm just going to see how I feel, of doing like the tonics, the tinctures and the enemas and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, day 7, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty up and down, like starting to like question, I'm like, who am I? What am I doing? What's my purpose? Which I hate those questions, because I've literally just been speaking about how, you know, we ask ourselves those questions, and it's not about who am I and what is my purpose and like what am I doing here. It's about, because that's always going to look different. Who you are is always going to look different. Your purpose is always going to look different. You know, you're always learning, you're always evolving, you're always growing. So I don't like those questions, but I'm feeling like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck am I doing here? And just having like a bit of a weird moment. I don't know. I don't even know if any of this makes sense. I just feel like I'm in a different world today. But yeah, I pulled out some parasites yesterday. Didn't have much mucus come out yesterday, but yeah, had some parasites, like some definite worms. So yeah, some definite worms come out. They weren't like super long or super weird or anything like that. But yeah, that's about it. There's nothing exciting that's going on, at all. Nothing. I just wanted to show you guys so what my setup is like. So usually I do this every time I'm at the end of these 3 cups. So this has got all my medicines mixed up in it. I'm going to put the hot tea in it soon. This is my little dropper for obviously dropping the medicine in. So I have it all just, so there's that row, there's another row underneath. And then I put some of this, put that on top. That's my charcoal psyllium husk bentonite clay mix, and this is my tea. So that's sort of just like my setup right there in that box.